All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Legend of the Galactic Heroes, episode 108. 108. Wait.
Yeah.
Lost. 4, 8,
true.
15, 16, 23, 42. Yeah. Why are you wearing that shirt though, Caleb? That's different.
Yeah. I thought to match this episode just in case something really, really awful happens to our golden son.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from.
I mean,
but at the same time,
if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
It
here.
could happen in the final episode. It could
could
totally happen.
It could. Also, pigs could have evolved to fly, but they didn't.
Well, okay, but if he does die this episode, that makes me very optimistic that we'll get a reveal from Emil that he's like, haha, I was poisoning you the whole time, and then Mecklinger will throw him out the airlock.
Mom,
or something.
you know that was a dumb theory of ours. That was
I would not be too surprised if that happened.
all right. But with everyone on the Isolon Republic side going to board Reinhardt's ship,
it's just going to be a conversation. It's going to be just fine.
This could be wonderfully simple in that it works. They get onto the ship, but then they don't kill Reinhardt. They actually have a good conversation.
That's right.
Over some tea.
And,
And they both lament that, if only Kierheis were here together. Because they actually both know who that is.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Watch, that'll be one of the things that helps break the ice. It's like, I actually met him. Yeah, just once.
Yeah.
He was a good man. But
y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone. Now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below. Then come back here for the discussion. Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow. He didn't die, but we got to see the end of so many beloved characters. And Julian made it to Reinhardt, who then sued immediately for peace and just ordered a ceasefire. It's over. It's done. We're going to get 2 episodes of happy ending then. There's going to be people that will die, maybe like Reinhardt, dying from his illness. Maybe. We'll see.
Yep.
But also, just the idea that after all this death, after all these people that made their mistakes, their choices, their brilliant decisions, all this, we get to have him struggling to make it to Reinhardt, putting all of his effort just to stay standing so that he's not kneeling to a ruler that represents everything that he's fighting against, so that he can then offer him a choice to basically change everything for the future and forever. Now, is what he's offering a perfect system or something like that?
Right.
No.
Well,
how is this kid going to teach Reinhardt something he doesn't already know?
Right.
But
maybe he can teach him something about the human spirit, and that he was willing to go through all of this to get here.
Yeah, I mean that definitely means something, but it's not anything new, I would say.
Right.
And I love that he's like, "Hey, Mueller,
right?
This look familiar to you?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's right."
Yes.
But oh man,
I did that.
I am so excited to see how the next episode goes, because I feel like the next episode is going to be the big conversation of how do we do this, right?
Or not even necessarily how do we do this, but whether Reinhardt will set up things in place with Mariendorf specifically to be the one that will issue this forward if he dies, or is this the thing of where he'll then start to blend things a little bit, where they won't actually take Julian's system in place here, but it's more that they will end war essentially on the immediate side of things. Now, obviously, humanity will reign in humanity,
and they'll figure out a way to go to war somehow. But
yes, of course.
The idea that here in this moment,
for generation at least,
right? Yeah, exactly. That there will be a time where the galaxy will know peace. Yeah,
and given that in a very curious way, Reinhardt's enemies were all defeated here.
Yep,
essentially.
Yeah, Attenborough, you'd be able to do a lot of damage, I'm sure, but yeah,
it's essentially over. Like Bittenfeld being able to have an awesome moment by decimating the empty fleet, which then leads to him, of course, falling into his last maybe trap that he has as a fleet admiral, you know, where it's like, oh, or sorry, just an admiral, where it's like, oh, yeah, Wittenfeld, you got again one last time, but hey, you did your job, you did really well.
Yeah, the idea that it's yes, you can board the ship, but you know, again, there is a reason that these people follow Reinhard as steadfast and loyally as they do, right? If you board his ship, even if they can't fire on that boarding ship, they will make your life hell.
Yeah,
right.
And Mercat's paid for that.
That his final moment. That was
his final moment was beautiful.
Like with both the, you know, I couldn't have asked for a better death, but then also, I faced Reinhard with all the women foppery, you know, that I could muster. It's like,
yeah, he had become a member of the family at that point.
Yeah, Mercat's is like best, like in Legend, he's the anime grandpa basically. I feel like, and just who doesn't love him?
Yeah.
So,
hey, though Attenborough is going to survive this whole thing, Poplin will as well. I love that duo will remain around to bicker with each other like an old married couple. But also, Shunkov's death really hits hard because he's one of those characters that's so larger than life in a weird way, like Bittenfeld, that it kind of makes sense that his lack of prudence, if you will, his desire for glory and for an incredible, way to go out and maybe to, put Reinhard's head underneath his boot,
Right.
And, like it makes sense for him to go out here. But it's also a really sad thing in that he's one of those characters that represents where those of the Empire basically saw something great in what was going on with the Alliance at the time, even though they were so corrupt and messed up at the time.
Yep.
And even though the Empire that he left was not the same Empire he fought for the majority of his life.
Right. Yeah.
That still makes it to be a really proud moment for him where he's like, hell yeah, I'm here on Reinhard's ship.
And look at the terrified, like expressions on their faces looking up at me.
As I die, I get to look down on them.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, and also with the whole thing of no one knows the exact time, get the feeling it's because they weren't sure. And they were a little bit too scared to check.
Yeah.
And at the same time,
he just closed his eyes and they just left.
They're just like, is this a trap? Wait, what's going on? Okay, no. His head starts to slump forward, and it's I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Yeah.
But also, after I wouldn't have been surprised if there was a part of Shankov that also wished for that. Because all the Rosenritter were basically dead, right?
I think all of them died.
Yeah.
The one that was his subordinate, I think, died.
I think he also died just somewhere else. He lasted a bit longer, but
yeah.
But it's the thing of, okay, I did what I wanted to do. And with characters like Shankov that talk such a big talk, there's I'm always curious to see them in those moments where they're by themselves, so that way we can be like, all right, how deep does this truly go? Right. And yeah, he did his duty, right? He cleared the way for Julian. He kept, people for the most part off their tail. Like, even though you got on board the ship, this is the Brunhild. Yes, that is the closest that you've ever gotten to Reinhard, but that's still real far away. They've got stupid amounts of people on that ship, right?
Yeah,
you only were able to get exactly, and you only got the one boarding party on there, right? Like that's only going to go so far, right?
Maybe 100 men versus 10,000.
Yeah, exactly. And hey,
that
you did it.
You did it,
right?
They will
tell stories of Shankov.
Yeah, and I'm so in love with the idea that Reinhard did it this way, basically, in that he's like, cool. I wanted my blood, I got it, and now you're here. And the way he sits, almost in I absolutely am of the belief now that when Code Geass was made, Lelouch's mannerisms were very much based off of Reinhard in a very strong way. Because when you see him with that look there, that pose, of pure just power,
right?
And it's just like, oh my god,
Reinhard doesn't
look phased at all. He doesn't even look sick. He looks just like Oh, you're here.
Yeah.
Well, out with it, young man. He looks like someone who's like someone is in the elevator with him and is trying to like sell him on an idea.
Yeah,
for,
an
like,
elevator pitch.
Like,
yeah,
and he's like, "Come on, give me your elevator pitch. I don't have all day."
Right.
Chop chop. And then he gives it to him, and the man just like collapses from like panic and exhaustion. He's just like,
well done.
This guy, yeah. This guy had
right.
some balls. Let's reward this here.
Yep. Like,
and now, I mean, I am a bit surprised though by the incurable, potentially like unheard of disease thing though, because that does somewhat feel like it was manufactured,
like a plot point thing where it's
but there's no way to tell, I guess, when it would have been introduced into his system.
Sure.
And maybe that's the thing, is that it's not something malicious. It's just there was a point of something that happened a while ago, and maybe they'll reveal what it was.
Sure.
Who knows? I don't think they need to. Yeah. But just the idea that it would take something this obscure and this out of nowhere to actually take out the golden god, basically.
Yeah, it's kind of the that bit of unfairness of the universe, but also the irony kind of because Reinhard really had it all kind of figured out, right? Like not really, but like for the thing that he was setting out to do, he got it pretty much covered as good as most anybody could be expected to have it figured out, right?
Yeah.
And in a similar way to Yang, it's sometimes you just get unlucky, right? There's a random shot and no one's around and you bleed out. You know, in this case, sorry, you got lucky in a lot of areas, and in this one you didn't.
You just didn't.
You know.
Yeah. It feels like it could end up being cheap depending on what happens in the next episode. But I'm really glad that he didn't die here from them boarding.
Yes.
Because he set it up to where he's like, no. I'm absolutely going to respect their efforts here.
Right.
In some ways, this is the mortal deigning to to come before God and not kneel, not bend the knee.
Right.
I will absolutely respect the audacity, the gumption in these little insects crawling before me.
Because that's what he had at the start anyways. Right.
Yeah.
That's who he was. He was some young blonde kid that was like, I'm gonna tear down the old gods, right? And he did it. And he did it. Like so yeah, of course, you know, and I love that the doctors that can't help him, he's like, tend to this man's wounds. You might not be able to help me, but you can help him. Yeah. You know. Yeah. Like that's just that's so cool.
There's just this wonderful like style of it all, but also there's this aspect of Reinhard understanding that the future is already no longer his. The galaxy is something he's going to need to pass on.
Right.
And if he's going to build a legacy, he might as well start with this conversation here.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm really excited for that. This episode was wonderful. We got to see everyone really in action. Yep. I love the bit where Mittermeier is just torn up inside of like, I will don my armor right now. Yeah. And I will go down there.
Because we know he's good in his armor.
Kick the shit out of them.
Right.
And then he looks at Shunkov and he's like, this guy's terrifying. Like I have to give my admiration for this guy. Right. This is a warrior.
Yeah. like he is someone that would
like he would actually probably kill Mittermeier, maybe.
Right. Maybe. Like it's good. It's a good thing for the sake of the galaxy that
Mittermeier didn't go down there.
Right. That Reinhard. This is one of the things that I love, because it could be seen as like the Reinhard favoring the lives of the people closest to him or whatever. Right.
Oh, sure.
But it's also the idea of, I know my place here is temporary, and Mittermeier is going to be damn important for whatever comes next. Yep. So no, you don't get to. Sorry.
Yeah.
I know you want to protect me, but nope.
He's like, if my massive garrison of guards here can't do it,
then it's not worth it. Right.
It's not worth it.
Like and also, I want people who are in high positions of power and authority that will witness what happened here.
Right.
So that way, if I do die, right, there won't be any discrepancy of what was going on.
What happened.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
And that's very important so that the Empire doesn't fracture a la Alexander the Great and then go to war with each other, and then we just get unending conflict again.
Right.
Which is something that still could actually happen.
It could.
Like, there's a couple ways this could happen. You could have everything going on with Bittenfeld being, like, maneuvering and stuff like this, and then you could have Eisenach and him form this, like, group that's like, no, we're gonna go take Iserlon.
Sure.
And,
they don't trust the signals. Maybe you're under duress or something. You know?
Sure. Oberstein could actually do something that, would be seen as a form of rebellion.
Sure.
Yeah, we could get Mittermeier then making orders that drive the other admirals away, and then it's a thing of where.
But only 2 episodes left. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be
we'll
fine.
See. We'll see.
Yep.
But all that being said, this episode just cut through everybody really quickly. All the tactics that we thought about would be used were in that, the dummy fleet was used perfectly.
That was great.
I love that they were also set to detonate because while that's something of like, Bittenfeld walks into another trap, but also it's the, oh shit, like, this is how set up they were for everything. Like, I didn't even think about the, ships detonating.
And I liked that it wasn't something that completely like destroyed the Black Lancers or something, because it's still a situation where Mercat still died, and it's a situation where you're still in space. So even if the ships are like really close, it's still, like you're not just gonna wipe out the entire fleet.
No, it's a massive distraction that will also kill a bunch.
It's gonna scuff up everything and then kill a lot of them. But it more buys you time. On the absolute sense of the battle, because there's so much of the Empire forces. But
all right, next episode will be the penultimate episode of the whole show, and probably the end of the Empire as we know it, and also the Isolon Republic as we know it.
Yeah.
And then the episode after that, I hope we get some kind of like epilogue. Where are they now? Where are things going? Kind of thing.
Yep. I hope Poplin and that dude become best buds.
Maybe we get to see a Kreutzer mince wedding or something.
Yeah, I think that would be a great way to end it.
Sure. Yeah. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. So you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.